Today, I'm going to talk about 5 snacks that I love that can help burn harmful body fat. And by the way, these foods are highly nutritious as well. The first food are walnuts. Now, walnuts turn on a process called thermogenesis, which means what it sounds like thermal, like heating up, and thermogenesis is like turning on a space heater inside your body that can burn down harmful body fat. Now, this is actually done by brown fat that's inside your body. And a study from the University of Wollongong in Australia looked at 175 subjects for a year. And what they did is they studied Waloot. Now, most of these people in the study were women in their early 40s who were overweight, obese, and the researchers divided them into 3 groups. One group got dietary guidance to eat general plant based foods, so basic healthy advice. And the other 2 groups got personalized dietary counseling based on their body size, their individual needs, rather than just sort of like the hand wavy general advice. And of these 2 groups, one of them, in addition, got 1 4 cup, not very much, of walnuts to eat every single day. So that was about the equivalent of 30 gram of walnuts, or about 7 whole walnuts or 14 hales. And everyone in the study had their body weight measured at the very beginning of the study at 3 months' time, and then at the end of the study, which is that 1 year. And here's what they found when it comes to Wes. The results showed that everyone lost weight when they got some dietary counseling, which makes sense when you've got somebody on your case to remind you and of what you need to do to be healthier, right? And so everyone would slim down. But what was amazing is that the what eaters, even at 3 months, began losing weight faster than anyone else. They lost 5.4 pounds at 3 months, which is 23% more weight loss than the other group that got personalized dietary advice. All right. And that was 54% more than the group that just got general nutrition advice. So adding even a 4 cup of walnuts, that's 7 whole walnuts a day, can help you lose weight. Now, walnuts are a great source of protein, and they also contain healthy polyunsaturated fats, and they also have dietary fiber. Now, what does dietary fiber do? Dietary fiber foam, walnuts feeds your gut microbiome, and that dietary fiber and a well-fed microbiome actually lowers inflammation, and it helps to actually up your metabolism as well. It smooths out your metabolism, makes it more efficient now. Healthy, well, bacteria also release metabolites from the fiber called short-chain fatty acids, or SCAFA, what we call them. There's 3 SCAIAs. They're known as acetate, propionate, and butyrate. And these are healthy products that are released into bloodstream after you eat woods, for example. And again, they lower inflammation, which is key to reducing the risk of many chronic diseases, everything from cancer, cardiovascular disease, dementia. And these short chain fatty acids even improve our mood by sending messages to our brain, which then trigger the release of neurotransmitters, oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine. So eating walnuts is not only a great snack, not only a great source of protein, but also good for overall mood, overall health, and to lose excess body weight. Now, how do I use walnuts? I like to toast some walnuts, just in a pan. If you get a stainless steel pan over the heat, okay, you can crush some up and just move the pan a little bit, and you'll actually get them to nice and toasty. Sprinkle them onto yogurt. And if you want to add a little sweetness, add a little bit of organic honey. Or another way to use walnuts is to add them to a salad, like a roasted beet salad, with a little bit of arugula, a little extra virgin olive oil, and a touch of maple syrup for sweetness. So these are ways that I actually use walnuts, or I'll just snack on them plain, which I love. The next up, fat fighting snack, is dark chocolate now. Most people know that. I like dark chocolate. I've done the research on it. But here's the thing. Chocolate itself is a confection. It's a candy. It's made in a factory or by artisans and small batches, and usually has added sugar and other flavors. But dark chocolate is based on cacao. All chocolate's based on cacao, but dark chocolate has more of the cacao. And cacao is a plant-based substance that has lots of polyphenols. So the greater the percentage of cacao, the more the plant-based polyphenols. And the best dark chocolates for you have 70% or higher percentage of cacao, 80% even better. And clinical studies have shed that eating dark chocolate is actually very heart healthy. So what does cacao have in it that's good for you? Well, cacao has bioactives like proanthocyanidin or theobromine or lupine, and cacao also has dietary fiber. So here's how dark chocolate fights body fat. Now, the bioactives present in cacao prevent the buildup of fatty tissue. This has been studied in the lab. And cacao also triggers thermogenesis, that process where your brown fat fires up like a space heater, and this brown fat or good fat becomes the machine to burn down harmful fat or white fat. In fact, a study called the Health Lifestyle in Europe by Nutrition in Adolescence cross-sectional study looked at more than 400 teenagers aged 12 to 18 across 9 different European countries, and they recorded how much chocolate they ate and compared to body composition, right? So these are teenagers that are growing, and the results show that those teens who consumed the highest amount of chocolate had significantly lower amounts of total body fat and central abdominal fat. And they also had smaller waistlines. This is waist circumference. A smaller waist means less harmful internal visceral fat. This is the internal fat that's packed inside the tube of your body. The more there is, the more inflammatory it is. And this is the kind that you want to burn away. So the key to eating fat, fighting healthy chocolate is to get it dark. 80% or higher is the best. Make sure it doesn't have too much added sugar, and make sure it doesn't have any artificial preservatives or other type of synthetic ingredients or emulsifiers that you don't actually want to add in your body. And that's actually how you can enjoy fat fighting chocolate third. Up the next fat fighting snack I enjoyed are dried fruits. Now, you can find all kinds of dried fruits in the middle A's of the grocery store. And one of my favorite kinds are dried apples that could be apple rings, that could be apple pieces. Now, here's a caveat whenever you get anything in the middle aisle, including dried fruit. I recommend that you read the ingredient label. Okay, you want to make sure that that product, including dried fruit like dried apples, doesn't have a lot of harmful chemical additives that you don't want in your body, but you can get dried organic apple pieces, all right, and they're great because they're very lightweight, easy to carry around, and they often contain the peel as well. Now organic means that you're not sprayed with pesticides, and so the peel is that in organic apples are safe to eat. What's in the flesh of apples, dried or fresh, but the flesh of the apple contains a bioactive called chlorogenic acid, all right, and the skin contains something called ursolic acid. Now I study food as medicine, so I know the names of these chemicals. You don't need to memorize them, but just know that scientists have actually figured some of these things out now. Both chlorogenic acid in the flesh and ursolic acid in the skin turn on, you guessed it, thermogenesis. That's that process that helps good fat burn away bad fat in the body. In fact, a study by Florida State University looked at 160 postmenopausal women and showed that eating just 3/4 of a cup of dried apples per day led to a 3.3 lb weight loss over the course of a year. And by the way, these women also had lower total cholesterol in their blood lipid pain. So actually eating dried apples also improved lipids. The other thing that the study showed is that the dried apple eaters also had lower blood levels of an inflammatory marker called CRP, or C-reactive protein. And by the end of the study, the dried apple eater CRP had fallen by 32% compared to when they started the study, before they started eating dried apples. Now, here's an important tip when it comes to eating snacks like dried apples. Number one, don't eat too much of them, because although they contain bioactives like chlorogenic acid, neurosolic acid, all good for you, dried fruit as well as fresh, contain fruit sugars. Now drying concentrates the fruit. So if you eat too many, and it's very easy to eat a lot of dried fruit, you'll be consuming a lot of the sugar at the same time. So just like any other fruit, just like any other food, just like any other snack, practice moderation. That's the best way to get the good stuff without eating too much of the things that can overwhelm your metabolism. Another favorite stack I want to talk about are strawberries. Now, I love strawberries, especially during the summer when they are in season. And if you want to get the best strawberries, go to a farmer's market and find out which ones are grown locally. And they're the ones that are actually going to taste the sweetest and be the freshest, I go for organic strawberries, because organic strawberries will actually contain the highest amount of the bioactive called oleic acid inside their flesh. Now, oleic acid triggers thermogenesis to burn down harmful body fat. The other reason I go for organic is because strawberry skin can absorb pesticides eventually grown. Strawberries are sprayed with pesticides, and you can't peel off strawberry skin, right? And it's very super thin, so it'll absorb those chemicals. So that's why organic strawberries are always better. All right. Um, Now, what's the clinical evidence that strawberries can actually burn fat? Well, study by the Harvard School of Public Health and the Tufts Freeman School of Nutrition looked at, get this, 133,000 people who were eating plant-based foods, including strawberries, and they studied them over 4 years. And what the researchers found was that eating the equivalent of just 1 cup of strawberries per day was associated with 1.5 lb weight loss. All right, now you might think 1.5 lb, it's not very much. But remember, this is just with the equivalent of 1 cup of strawberries. Right now, other studies have also shown that eating strawberries increases insulin sensitivity, so it increases your body's efficiency, and using blood glucose improves metabolism, and strawberries also lower total cholesterol. Now, I love snacking on strawberries on their own, but here's a couple of other suggestions or little tips on how you can use them. You can slice them up and add them to a green salad, or if you want to punch up their fat fighting power, you can mix them with a little bit of balsam vinegar. Okay. Remember, in vinegar is acetic acid, and acetic acid prevents the expansion of fat cells. So you got the fat fighting power of strawberries and their flavor, along with the fat fighting power and flavor of balsandy vinegar, a great pairing put into a salad, or you can serve it as a dessert. All right. Hey, just something real quick. If you're enjoying this video, then you'll want to check out my free guide on burning down body fat. Unlike the huge amounts of weight loss at fat diets, promise my free guide shows that healthy weight loss is realistic, achievable, and sustainable for just about everyone. In burning down body fat, I share 5 of the best foods that you want to eat right now if you want to fight harmful body fat. And I walk you through how these foods actually work to improve your metabolism. So get the guide right now. It's free in the caption below now. Back to the video. My last fat fighting food for this video is blue BL berries. Now, I love ripe seasonal blueberries. Again, a summer fruit. The blue color in blueberries comes from bioactives called anthocyanins, and these anthocyanins improve your metabolism. They help increase insulin sensitivity, so they make your metabolism more efficient, and they help your body make more of the healthy brown fat, that helpful fat, that beneficial fat that burns down harmful white fat. Remember, brown fat can be turned on by thermogenesis to burn down harmful white fat, ural fat. And researchers from Turkey have studied 54 adults who are overweight, and all these adults were in a weight loss program so they could actually get healthier. They also started to limit their calories and give them a little bit of exercise. And after 6 weeks, what the researchers wanted to do is to see if you could actually bump up the effect, the power of all this other weight loss program with blueberry. So half of the group was given 1/4 cup of frozen organic blueberries. Now pay attention to this frozen. Okay, frozen's good, organic, more bioactives, less pesticides, and they were given just a 4 cup. That's very little to eat every day for 6 weeks. All right, the other half of the group that didn't get the blueberries actually got a placebo. All right, and here's what they found. Blueberry eaters on average lost 8 pounds. All right, which was 21% more than the placebo eaters. And they also 5% more of their body fat. So eating blueberries amplifies whatever weight loss program you might be on, exercise, caloric restriction, counseling, all that kind of stuff. Blueberries will actually help them work better. Now, another study looked at 2,700 people and showed that eating foods containing anthocyanins like blueberries led to people having less visceral fat, which is the harmful fat we want to avoid. So how do I eat blueberries? Well, I'll tell you, I pick them up and eat them plain one by one. But if you want to make them a little fancier, let's say you want to serve them up at a dinner party or have a nice lunch, try zesting some lemon on it. Again, organic lemon. You're not going to be able to get the pesticides off of a conventional lemon skin. So buy organic lemons and zest it with a zester. Zest lemon, skin right on top of a bowl of blueberries. The two flavors work together. Great blueberries, okay? With the tartness of lemon, and you can serve this again in a bowl is a beautiful dessert. Put a little mint leaf on top. If you want to get all Martha Stewart and add a little bit of decoration to it, all right, that's it. My snacks for fighting fat that are also delicious and nutritious. Hope this video inspired you to try them. And thanks for watching. Dr. Lee out. Hi there. If you enjoyed watching this video, I know you'll love the next one. Stay here and check it out, and I'll see you there.